Now we have some prizes to give out. We have some towns to see. We have things to do. Now, like I said at the beginning, Nathan over on Topics has been running a really cool competition, which is his big Christmas show-off design. And there were 4 judges, and all 4 judges have been looking through the entries and choosing their favourites. And if they want to, as the chat frozen, guys, no one seems to have said anything for about a minute or so. Is the chat frozen, or am I just here all alone? Hello. No one is responding. Has the web gone down? Has the whole internet broken? Let me refresh the chat. This might make the chat look a bit weird. Maybe I've been disconnected from the chat. That would be embarrassing. It's my stream. Ah, right, okay. Laura's there. Hello! Right. Sorry, Laura. Yes, I can see you speak there. Did I miss anything exciting there? I wasn't. Oh, anything that you guys have said for a while. There you go. So I didn't see. Sadly, I didn't get to see your guys' reaction to me almost missing that. But never mind. There we go. Okay, good. Let's carry on this. So yes, we've got this big competition, the big show-off, and we've got 4 towns that we are going to go and see, because they were deemed the best designs. And when I come up to them, if the judges are here, I know we've got Nathan here, and I know we've got M here, and I know we've got Spellcaster here. Have we got Mags here? I don't know if we have Mags here. But if you guys would like to explain which ones you have chosen and why, you are more than welcome to as I go through. Now, first of all, I'm going to go and pop over to our first winner. This was Spellcaster's choice. So if Spellcaster, if you want to give us a line or two about why you picked what you did and why, and then I will. While I kind of load it up, as I've added quite a lot of new friends recently, because there's been some wonderful designs around it. Which means with more friends on here, it's taking me longer to actually find the cities I want. Spellcaster, stop saying you're famous and tell us why you picked this design. Get on with it. Now, our first winner, as chosen by Spellcaster, is this lovely, lovely parade that we showed last week, and I hope you agree that it is absolutely awesome. Do you remember the New Year parade that we had? This was Kay's, and we absolutely loved it at the time. Loads of you guys were saying 10 out of 10, and I think I've probably had a good 10 minutes of the stream just looking at the awesome bits of the designs here. Everything from the benches to the parade balloons themselves to the snowplow at the front. I just thought it was a really, really excellent design with just tons of variety, tons of things to look at, and a well-deserved first winner in our competition. I'm going to be showing you 4 designs this evening, and I'm not sure if there is then going to be picked an overall design. Nathan could probably let us know, but that is our first winner. Has my chat frozen again? Because I can't see any. The last thing I saw was someone that said that Mags is chatting, but I can't see the rest of you chatting, which implies that my chat has balked again. Trying to refresh it. Oh no, there we go. The chat has suddenly kind of popped back, but it was very delayed. Very, very delayed. Okay, so let me just scroll up the chat there so I can see what people are saying. It all suddenly kind of flooded in at once. Spellcaster said, I chose Case Design because I found it really interesting and amusing, as I like the parade idea. Looks like we're suffering from some internet choppiness this evening, which is always a shame, but I guess it's one of the hazards of live streaming. I guess it's just going to happen from time to time. But well done, Kate. Second time I've shown her, and I'm more than happy to show that one again, because that is such a fantastic design. The second one I'm going to show you is a lovely... this is Mags's choice, actually, and obviously Mags isn't here with us this evening, but this is from Laura Max. Sitting, and she did a lovely ice rink. And if you remember, a few weeks ago we designed the ice rink together. We did it as part of the my little Santa village, and we came up with all sorts of ideas. And Mags particularly liked Laura's design. Now I'm just going to get confused because Laura's name is not the same as her login, which probably means I'm going to sail right past it. Oh, there we go. Right, very nearly did. Yeah, Laura's decorated the ice rink, and if you remember last a few weeks ago, we were talking about putting water out the back of it, and you know, all sorts of things to make it look kind of really nice here. And this is a lovely little simple ice rink design here. With it's kind of large. You have to kind of zoom out to get the full effect, but it's kind of like an ice rink in the park. You know, perhaps a bit like a kind of Central Park idea. I don't know. I'm not American, but that kind of idea. You've got lots and lots of space going on around this place. We've got a nice bit of fencing to kind of fence off the ice rink itself. We've added the bridges have been added here, which is a nice variation on what we've seen before. Makes the ice rink almost look kind of lower down than the kind of road, and as if you kind of skate around underneath all the kind of poles and things like that. And out the front, we've got these kind of like simplistic but kind of effective decorations. A few little benches, a place you can get some cider, a few little candy canes, and then I like this. We've got some bullies around the edge. They're just kind of watching people on the ice rink, and a few little benches and some more Christmas trees around, just giving it a lovely festive feel. Nice bit of symmetry going around as well there. We've got the benches on both sides there, and also a bit of cleverness there. We've got the Springport benches at the front, which of course makes it look like it will kind of zoom up, and then we've got the other benches at the back, which face the right way, so they work effectively together. It looks like my chat has frozen again, but I've got the second chat open on my other screen, so I think I can see what you're saying. Lots of you are saying, well done, Laura. Oh, and Mitch Queen is here, so fantastic. So well done, well done to her. I'm gonna refresh my chat again, which will hopefully bring it back up to date. But as long as you guys can see each other chatting, to be honest, that's the main thing. Well, I suppose it's quite important that I can see what you're saying. But as long as you guys can keep checking the stream itself, that'd be great. Now I'm going to take you across to my little desktop in 1 second, because we have two more to see. Now the first one is this is M's choice. And M, would you, if you wouldn't mind giving us a few lines about why you chose this one, if you would like. M chose a town from PT Boy, so I'm just going to head over to my desktop, which you should now be able to see my desktop. Yeah, M chose this little farm here by Peter or PT Boy, depending if you're going with the origin or the name here. And she really liked this design because of the kind of the Christmas at home feel. It's Cletus's farm, and we've added on a few little plants around the edge. We've got some got a reindeer at the side. But she was telling me in PM that the whole idea, the reason why she liked this design so much was because it doesn't have the big Christmas Santa Claus coming up the front, or the big nativity scene, or the big all those kind of like commercial extras are missing. But what's kind of left here is actually a really nice Christmas at home with just a few lights outside, a few flowers around the edge, a lovely little reindeer and pumpkin out there. So, but even the reindeer gets to have a little kind of feast as well. But the whole kind of point of this design is simplicity. So I think it's nice because it shows you don't always have to kind of have one of those designs that makes you kind of go wow. Sometimes it's the idea of getting a design that simply makes you kind of go, you know what, I'd like to have Christmas in that house. And M has just put onto the chat, and you can probably see it. She says, I like the simplicity, the lonely city farm, the reindeer munching on a pumpkin left over from Halloween. So yeah, yes, and Cool Kid, we can see what you're saying, because when I'm over at the desktop, the chat isn't going to be up on the screen, but you guys can see it yourselves if you're looking at it. So don't worry, I can see it, and you guys can see each other. It's because I'm over on the desktop. But well done, Petey. You are winner number 3. If I just take us back over to here, and our final winner. The reason why I wasn't able to visit PT's town, and I'm not able, unfortunately, to visit our last winner's town either. Our last one is Nathan's choice. So if Nathan, you would like to write us a few lines about what you chose and why, and I will take us over. This is Andre's design, and I'll take you back to my little desktop. This is Andre's design, and he has gone for the. I love the kind of showing those two designs together, because these are polar opposites. The simple city farm with a little reindeer outside enjoying a nice little Christmas, versus this, which is the biggest commercial, brightest, bubbliest, lightiest Christmas treeiest place on the planet, with reds and greens and every other colour under the sun just coming out of it. This is Andre's Winterland, and you can see there that there's loads of detail going in there, and even some of the new decorations actually, which I haven't seen a lot of. I think it's the beer brewery or something brewery, as they're right in the middle. He's made that a nice part of his design, and it does say it has to work well. The Simpsons go to hell float is in there as well. We've got various elf houses going around there. We've got we've got the Santa's Village, and what I really like about the inclusion of the Santa's Village there is it doesn't look like it's a building that's been added into an existing design. It all actually kind of looks organic. Do you know what I mean? If you look carefully at Santa's Village there, it doesn't look like that's one building that's part of another design. It all looks like it's part of the same whole. And then, of course, we've got lots of little hedges and lots of Christmas decorations, but it's all neatly and nicely put together, and you can kind of see yourself there walking around there, going from Santa's Village to the elf villages and walking around. It's just a really, really complicated but well thought out and well planned design. I can't see Nathan saying anything about this particular one, but if he does start chatting at any point, then I will tell you what he says. Oh no! It turns out that my chat has frozen again, so I can see what you're saying. So we've got lots of ones talking about. Loads of you guys saying no commercial crap, says M. Nice, really like it. Got 10s out of 10s, 7s out of 10s. Jared gives it 100 out of 10. The Iced Rooster says we have Arnie Pie giving a report on the winner. Marvel Frog gives it 9 out of 10. So cool. Looks like we're going to have problems with the chat this evening, but there's not a lot I can do about that. But I'll keep checking back to see what you guys are saying, and I'll take you back over to my little Springfield. Now we're going to be looking at. Actually, no. Before I move on, then I will just say, well done to everyone that entered the competition. There were some fantastic designs. Thank you to all the judges that gave up. Thank you to all the judges that gave up their time to judge it. And thank you, to those winners. I will be making a highlights video tomorrow, or maybe after the stream tonight, but probably tomorrow, and I will show all those 4 designs again. So well done to all 4 of you, and Merry Christmas one last time. Okay, we're going to be looking at the Krustyburger. Now I'm sure you are aware, of course, that one of the key things about the Krustyburger is that you have more than one, and there aren't many kind of recognisable buildings that you have more than one of in The Simpsons Tapped Out. You can have loads of blue houses and pink houses and brown houses and all that kind of stuff, but almost everything else you only get one, and one of the few exceptions to that rule is the Krustyburger. Now, you can look at that in a negative way, and you can kind of say, "Oh no, I've got like 2 of the same building. How am I going to decorate them differently?" Or, or why do I have to kind of have them both in, and things like that. Or you can actually look at it in a more positive way and actually say, "Well, I've actually got an opportunity here to design the same building in 2 very different ways." And I don't know about you, but sometimes, I did my my Buddhist temple here a few weeks ago, if you remember, and I've chosen one particular design, but actually there are probably like 10 different designs that I could have chosen, and it's a shame really that I can only really use one, or only kind of really put kind of like maybe 1 or 2 ideas together. But with the Krustyburger, you have an opportunity, you have a choice, you have more than one, you can have up to 3, is it? Could someone get rid of Charles? He's asking the same question over and over again. And it's good. It's a proper opportunity to actually put to actually kind of put different designs into use on the same building and really kind of show off your creative skills. It's lovely to see Laura there looking chuffed at being one of the winners in the competition, and Kay's there as well. Good. It's lovely to have so many of our winners in the chat. Apologies, I'm not quite keeping up with it as it does seem to be all kind of slowed down a little bit this evening. Okay, so we're going to go, as we normally do, we're going to be heading over and having a look at some of my buddies' Krustyburgers. I've actually found so many good Krustyburgers that I may not actually get to design mine this evening because I had to do the Christmas designs as well. But I've just almost decided that I may not get to it because there's just so many good designs here that I want to show off that I don't want to. Cut out any of these designs in order to show you guys some hedges and things like that. me kind of moving things around. So if I get to designing my own, then of course I absolutely will. But there's loads here that I want to show you, so we'll jump right in. Now, as always, oh dear, I didn't mean to go into K-City. I'm sure K-City is lovely, but I didn't mean to go into it that particular time. I'm sure that. Oh, I've lost my train of thought, and I've lost my my loading screen there. And I carefully pressed the wrong button. I'm getting very distracted this evening. It's because the chat's going down. I'm suspicious you guys are all talking about me behind my back. Thank you, it's the boy, Drew. You're the boy, and you're the man too. Right, back to my friends. Okay, today I'm going to start off by showing you one of my new buddies on The Simpsons Tapped Out, who is Indy's second. Very busy over on the Tapped Out forum, and he's actually got two designs that I'm going to show you today, and which I think is a great place to start, because obviously my first point here was this idea that you can have more than one design, and he absolutely has. He's got two very, very different Krustyburgers, the same building, that come out in two very, very different ways. He's got one up near the top, and he's got one down near the bottom. So as soon as it loads up, maybe I am having internet issues today, because if my chat keeps going and I'm struggling to load up the old cities, that might be, these two may go hand in hand. Now here's our first one. Here is our first one. Now what this reminds me of. Your first thought when you look at this one might be, well, there's not very many decorations here. There's not very many things put around the Krustyburger. But then think again. This is part of a bigger city. This is part of a bigger design. So what is this design all about? Well, this design is like one of those motorway service stations, or I don't know, in America, do you call them freeways? I'm not really sure. But in Britain, what you have, as as Flanders jet skis past there, in Britain, what you have is you have these big roads, and then every so often, probably every 20-30 miles or so, you get to come off to the side of the road. You go into this little kind of specialised park where there's tons of parking, and there's always going to be a few little bus stations and a few little places for you to grab some grub. This design here, I think, really reflects that idea. It's very, very simplistic, with a huge chunk of parking, and then we've got a bus stop, we've got a phone booth, and we've got Krustyburger. So for me, this is one of those designs that really tells a story. It's not like one of those designs that makes you kind of go, oh, I like what he's done with this, or I like what he's done with that. But this is a thematic design. This is your freeway service station. This is your stop off on a big journey. You're going to stick your car in that big car park, maybe get the trip to Krusty Land there as well, and whoops, before we go, we're going to need to grab a bite to eat. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I love this animation. I hope you've had a chance to see it in your town. The money fight between Burns and Smithers is absolutely fantastic. So this is our motorway Krustyburger, which I think is a really, really nice design. And then we've got our second one, because remember, you can decorate them differently. Now, Krustyburger is such a versatile building that it will very, very neatly just fit in a line of shops. And we've all got a line of shops in our town. Somewhere we've taken a load of those. We've taken a load of those. Slightly more kind of generic shop buildings. We've made a big line of them. Krustyburger does work as part of one of those lines. You're going to have more than one Krustyburger. If you're not sure what to do with it, you don't have to make a big thing of them. You can stick them in a big line of shops, just like Indy's done here, and it will work absolutely fine. One little tip he had here that he mentioned is that there's a drive-through sign on the side of the Krustyburger. So if you are going to use Krustyburger like this, then you need to cover up that Krustyburger, that drive-through sign. And he's done it with a tree, and obviously the tree normally would be a bit more kind of bushy, but you can see there, just in the centre of my screen there, he's used that tree to cover up the drive-through sign. Therefore, it kind of works better as a kind of an overall thematic thing. Did I just see M talking about my my adipose behind the fat cell in the background. Yeah, my adipose behind. I keep meaning to change that, but I still like it at the moment. So there's Indy's two designs I think that make you think, don't you think? You know, that make you kind of think, oh, there's a story going on here. They've been put into this kind of design because of this, because of that. You know, it's a nice versatile design. Let's go for something completely different, because there's another way of looking at this, which is, well, we've got 2 Krustyburgers or 3 Krustyburgers. Now, one way of looking at it might be to put those 2 Krustyburgers as far away as humanly possible, you know, so we don't get any idea of repetition. You know, we have this idea that we want our town to kind of look unique. But there's another way. You could put your Krustyburgers as close to each other as possible, which gives you an opportunity to kind of make almost like a Krustyburger area of your town by putting more than one of them together. Now, this is Mockaby, who again is over from the Simpsons Tapped Out forum, and when I saw this picture, I was literally just like, oh my goodness, because this is Krustyburger land. And I'm just going to steal myself some gift cards here. But have a look at this. We've got both of the Krustyburgers together, along with the Krusty Land bus, along with loads of places to park your cars and have some cigarettes and stuff like that. We've got some cars travelling around the edge for the kind of drive-thrus and things like that. A nice kind of entrance roadway, a couple of ponds, loads of dining tables for people to eat their precious Krustyburgers. But this is Krustyburger land, and I think it is absolutely fantastic, and I've never seen a design like this. I think everyone else so far just puts the Krustyburgers as far apart as they possibly can, and Mockaby's just going, nah, let's stick them together. Let's put these together and really kind of make a thematic, a themed area of my town, which is all based around the idea of Krustyburger. I can see that Cool Kid is giving it a a 1 trillion out of 10. Charles isn't so keen, but I think it's definitely something that's really nice and unique. And if you are thinking, oh, I've got all these Krustyburgers, what am I going to do with them? I think this is a nice way of dealing with it. And again, in the parking zone here, I think this is also a masterclass of all the different things that you can put to stop your car parking just looking like a big load of grey, to be honest. I think there's always a risk with car parking that it looks dull. But here we've got potted trees, we've got phone booths, we've got lampposts, we've got little plants in front of each kind of row. You've got roads framing the car parks. You know, there's all sorts of things here to stop this car park looking dull. And I do agree with what Mr. Fye is saying there, that it's hard to use the drive-thrus on this design. But I don't think every design has to make use of every single part of every feature of each building. I agree. I think that the designer here, Mockaby, has obviously just decided, I'm not going to use the drive-thrus, but I am going to use the building in a kind of a themed way, and which is cool. Which is one of the nice things about Simpsons Tapped Out, is that you have the freedom to kind of interpret and reinterpret these buildings as you want. Scobar, it's generally seen as bad form to kind of talk in all caps. It's kind of like you are shouting. So I would request that you don't speak in caps, please. Otherwise, the mods will likely to will do bad things to you. But it kind of makes people kind of feel they're being yelled at by the people that are talking. That is why. And Ice Rooster, nice to see you today. Welcome, as always, to the Fat Cells. He's got an idea: one up-to-date Krustyburger with a park and drive-through, and one old Krustyburger that's been closed down, so iron railings or barbed wire, complete with trash. Nice idea. So kind of an old Krustyburger and a new Krustyburger, a bit like the donut one, because there's that, you know, the whole Church of the Lard one had that kind of idea. Okay, let's go and view some more, because there is more that we can see. We shall go and have a look at, if I can find him. So many friends, so much origin, so little Addy. But I've ended up going the wrong way here. Because I am looking for a lens. There you are, a lens. A lens, I think, had a really nice drive-through, because obviously Mr. Fye there just mentioned not using the drive-through, but Mr. lens most definitely did. In fact, here's his design right here. Really, really, really nice one here. This one uses the drive-through as its complete focus. This whole design is based around this idea of the drive-through. And what you can see is you've got the road passes by on the far right-hand side, and then next to the Krustyburger, you've then got a loop of the paving area, the pavement area, and it kind of whizzes round, and you can see exactly where the cars would go as they come round. And then he's kind of embellished that by putting some fences around it, some trees around it. It's got some hedging. We've got some bins. We've got some places for people to kind of park up and get their orders. We've got loads of different and a nice crusty balloon there as well. And I do think it's actually quite hard to make good use of the balloons, because they obviously are very big and kind of celebratory like. But actually, this works really nicely because fast foods often have like a kind of a big kind of gimmicky thing in the kind of in the air to kind of attract people towards it. In fact, the Krustyburger already has, so he's kind of emphasised that idea. So it's a really, really nice drive-through idea. Mr. Fye says Murphy, please, not Mr. Fye. But it doesn't say Murphy; it says Mr. Fye. That says Mr. Fye too. But sure, I can call you Murphy. Yeah, that's fine. And KZ, I understand. You know, it's there's lots of entertainment around. Cool Kid likes the decor. He thinks it's cool. See you, Chief Ralph. And got some 9s out of 10 from Fruzius, some 8.555/10 from Charles. Tito says 10 out of 10. Cowboy sends 8 out of 10. But this is, there's so what I really want to cut across, and I'm probably getting sick of. I'm probably going to make you bored of hearing me say this, but there's so many different ways you can use your Krustyburger. Are you going to put it in a motorway service station? Are you going to put it in the shops? Are you going to put it in a Krustyburger land? Are you just going to put a little kind of looping drive-through around it and kind of decorating it? You really, really, really have options here. Now, speaking of options, let's go through some more kind of speedy designs. I'm going to take you back over to my lovely desktop because I want to show you some of the designs from the Tapped Out forum and also from the tappedout.co.uk. Now, the tappedout.co.uk this week was brilliant, so I think I'm actually going to show you the whole thing over there. But before I do just want to show you a couple from here. Now, what this is the Krustyburger. This was a bad examples, this is a good example from bad example of an alternative way of using the drive-through design with the kind of Krustyburger coach right next to it. It works really well because the coach looks like it's actually kind of going into the drive-through. But the one I really wanted to show you was this one here. It's a slightly sick idea, and I apologise to the vegetarians here. But what Brett had previously, he hasn't actually got it in his city anymore, but he put the field of reindeers next to his Krustyburger. And if you kind of take the logic a little bit further forward, it's kind of like, oh, so why would you need a load of animals next to a Krustyburger? And then all of a sudden the penny drops, and you go, oh, okay, it's actually, this is the food, this is the meat. It's kind of like having the cow factory out the back. And both have actually his design. This one's probably a bit harder to see because I think the Halloween was up when he took the photo. But here we've got this is actually a brilliant design. Let me zoom on it a little bit further because I think this is one that's definitely worth your time having a good look at. Here we've actually got the drive-through combined with a play area, which we haven't actually talked about yet, combined with a bit of kind of trash going on, combined with some reindeers who may end up being the supplies, with a police car. And this is just a brilliant design. And bizarrely, it's actually quite small. It's fairly compact, and it's got some chairs and tables there on the beach as well. I mean, to be honest, that design's so good, I might as well just nick it. I'm not sure I can actually do. Better than that one there. There's just so many little bits and bobs there, although I don't think the student driver's going to make it around the corner. But that's just an outstanding design. But the idea of a reindeer burger, I'm sure people do eat reindeer, just perhaps not in England and stuff, but I don't think it's one of the ones on the forbidden list or anything like that. It's not like horse, but yes, a nice little reindeer widge. Hey, KC Loves Gaming. Nice to welcome to the stream. KC is also, as you're probably aware, a big YouTuber on The Simpsons Tapped Out, and he's always doing little playthroughs of premium quests and He's far more up to date than I am when various things get released and things like that. So if you're interested in seeing playthroughs of Simpsons Tapped Out, then do subscribe and head over to his channel. I think his YouTube channel is exactly as it's written in the his name there. Casey Loves Gaming. I think our two channels complement each other quite nicely. I tend to kind of do the city design stuff and the occasional review. He seems to kind of more focus on the kind of the playing of the game with a few bit of decorations here and there and the kind of the news and stuff. So if you're interested in finding yet even more Tapped Out resources, that's definitely his is definitely a channel you can go and check out. And Casey, you can pay me later for the plug. Right, what else was I going to show? Yes, I was going to head over to tappedout.co.uk because there was loads and loads and loads of stuff in tappedout.co.uk today. I thought we'd have a look through the whole thing, really, just because there's loads and loads of kind of stuff around. If you've seen the thread already, you know, I won't. There's loads here, so I'm not going to spend too long on each one. But I'm just going to point out a few things that I liked on kind of on each one. So this is over on tappedout.co.uk. It's a kind of like Facebook for Tapped Out if you haven't seen it before. And this is Charles's, and because what a lot of people here have done is they've actually put up multiple pictures because there are multiple Krustyburgers in your town. There you go. I was struggling to set. I really liked here on this first design. It's going to be a little bit pixelated when I zoom in. This first design of Charles's here, and is the way that there's actually several different lanes here. I thought was really nice. You've got this. I don't know if you can see my mouse on the screen, but you've got this lane here for the kind of the drive-through on the right-hand side. Then you've got this kind of like little park-up lane here, maybe for people to kind of walk into the shop, or maybe for another little car lane. Not sure. And then a bit of parking next to it as well. But I thought it's nice. It's nice to see those kind of practical things, you know. So I mean, it's not like a beautiful thing because it's not like a big flower, but it's a very practical fence thing, and that to me always makes the city kind of feel more alive. You know, if there's something there that kind of makes you think, oh, that's how that's used, then I think you've done your kind of design. You've done your design well. This is Nick's. I did actually try and add Nick earlier because I actually really like this, and he's gone for the idea of a outside dining area in a kind of big way. I think this would look slightly different when you're in the sun, not wintry. But I really like the idea here that he's used the door here as a kind of this is like your going out to eat door, and then we've just got. I hope you can see them because if I zoom in too far, it's going to get pixelated. But here we've just got dining chair, 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 a lovely walkway in the middle, and of course a bin. Nice little attention to detail. You always need the bin because of people have eaten and stuff like that. But that's I think this is a really nice inner city way, not taking up much room way of doing it, but still looking kind of pretty. You know, dining chairs will make it look pretty, and then things like bins and dumpsters will make it kind of look more kind of industrial. And you can go either way in the design. You know, it's your city. But that's one way of kind of making it look a little bit posh. Here's our lovely mod, Ems. She's stuck a road round it and stuck a little lamppost in there. And the thing is, Krustyburger is such a pretty building that it actually does work. You know, it isn't one of those buildings that desperately needs... that desperately needs more. I don't think it does need more. I think it actually works very, very well, just kind of as is. Here is Jose's. He says he's in the middle of redesigning his city, so that's why he's got like the blank area around the edge here. But he's found a novel use for the totem pole, but it actually works next to the Krustyburger. You know, it's got that kind of thematic idea as well. He's put some kind of trash cans at the back. We've got some benches at the front, nice little kind of walkway, a few little lampposts, and a cannon. Because, you know, nothing says Krustyburger more than blowing the hell out of the local people. Here's Joe's. Now, yes, one of the things I haven't talked about yet with Krustyburgers is the possibility of play areas. We haven't talked about play areas because there's actually quite a few designs that I've seen for Krustyburgers that really focus on this idea of putting a kids' play area at the back, because you do often get that, don't you? You know, especially if it's like a big fast food place, there'll be a place for the kids to go out and jump on the swings, jump on the seesaw, throw up everything they have just eaten. Therefore, the parents then have to go and buy the food again. So Krustyburger actually makes double money. So play areas, a little small play area out the back with swings or a slide, and you don't need much. That's the other thing. So if you make a big park, you need kind of like a big you need like a big, you need a big player if you're going to park. But if it's just a little Krustyburger, you can actually just get away with a slide or a or something like that. It works nicely. And this was Erland's, which who's I already saw, so I'm going to skip past his. Ernesto did have, yeah, I really like this one. Look at this. Drive-through combined with some tables and chairs. Really, really nice trees at the back there. Very, very nicely decorated on that one. I'm trying not to speed past too fast because I don't want to try to get the balance between entertaining you and showing you too many designs. But I hope I'm getting across with you tonight just how versatile this building is. We haven't seen two the same yet, which is really quite impressive. Which was the one? There was one that he showed from an alternative account that I really liked. But I don't think I was actually able to add it in time. Here's Owens. Owens has gone that more kind of inner city route, which is nice. We've got the kind of dumpsters at the back, and then we've got this nice little pathway going down the side, which is nice because an alternative way of doing it is not to go for the road round route, but to go for the little kind of bush round route, which works nicely. Cowbomb, yes, I have played Clash of Clans, and I didn't like it, so I stopped. I also tried Heyday as well, and me and Clary made a couple of videos, but it got boring after a while. To be honest, it didn't seem to have it didn't have the designing aspect that Tapped Out did, so it didn't hold my interest. I like how Charles has just suggested that the cannon is there to deter the burglars. It's a nice idea. Here's Jack Humphreys. Like many, because the Krustyburger is quite an early building you get, and because it's quite an early building you get, you often find it stuck with the Kwik-E-Mart or the Gulp and Blow. I think because you don't have much space. You don't have much space early on, so you often get designs where they'll put these buildings together, but they work well together. So why not? It works kind of nicely as like a middle of a kind of villagey area type place where people can kind of go shopping and grab a bite to eat. Drive through here, through the middle, a few bushes, through trees, lampposts. Doesn't take much, but works nicely as a nice little simple design. Ah, yes, these were some of the ones I want to show you. Lovely little play area here. Little gate on the front of the hedge here. We've got some swings. We've got some slides. Not slides. Sorry, we've got some swings and a seesaw. Sorry, not a slide. It's a seesaw. And oh, this was a really, really good one. You might not be able to see it because it's blurry, but the back corner. Oh no, that's the same one. Hang on, where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. It's the fact that the cars here actually drive in around the edge of they drive in around the edge of the Krustyburger like this, and we've actually got to use the Chalmers card to kind of demonstrate them going in and round. I think that's possibly one of my favourite drive-throughs I've seen, just because it's actually kind of so simple, but really, really effective, which is very, very cool as well. And who have we got here? This is John O'Connell. Again, I was mentioning, you end up with the Krustyburger and Gulp and Blow together and things like that. But it looks like a kind of nice inner city entertainment area, which is cool. And then we've got Nick again, who I think I mentioned. I think that's a slight variation on the design we saw before. We got the Wookiee. Ah, yes, and the Wookiee man has definitely gone for the kids play area. In fact, I'm not sure I want to go to that play area though, because there's a few bullies standing outside there who aren't going to let me in. But we've got some, we've got the chairs and tables. We've got the seesaw. We've got the wall bars as well, which his face Flanders, his son, likes to go and likes to go and play with. So I thought that was a nice design. Again, hint of drive-through there with the car sneaking around the edge. But the balloons work well as well, which is cool. And then we've got Nathan. In fact, we might go and see Nathan's, because Nathan's is pretty fantastic. Yes, Mint up to his old tricks. Thank you, mods. We've got Stephen G's here. We've got a nice use of cones here for the drive-through. I haven't seen that one before. I'm not sure he's got these building around the right way, because the drive-through kind of comes around that side. But I see where he's going with it. It does work nicely. And he's got some variations here. We've got Jamie's. He's got some nice little hedge there. We're starting to see kind of the same kind of decorations kind of coming up, but you can just see how much variety there is there. Laura's had a nice idea. Laura kind of grabbed everything that was called Krusty and stuck it together. Krusty Studios, Krustyburger, Krusty Land, and a cannon, of course. And it works really nicely. You can just put those together, and it looks like a kind of mini theme park in your town, which is really, really cool. And finally, it's your boy Drew. Is here with his little police car. And in fact, I think he's going to have an issue in his one, because the two cars heading towards each other. That's not going to go well. If they both drive through, they're going to have a crash through, I think, rather than a drive through. But that was cool. Right, let's go and see Nathan's, because Nathan's is Nathan doesn't do things by halves when it comes to decorating his Springfield, and his Krustyburger is no exception at all. We seem to have a load of smiling faces here. Minch has made a good joke. Mint time out for mint. Mint time out for mint. Mint time out for... I'm confused. Right, where's Nathan? Somewhere in my plethora of buddies. And while I'm searching through my plethora of buddies, I'm going to very obviously have a crisp. And now you get to hear me crunch. So here we go. Nathan clearly had too much time today, because he seems to have he's kind of made a Christmas world out of his Krustyburgers. I'll just kind of pause. He's put the Krustyburger. He's put Krustyburger and Zesties together, which actually works surprisingly well. Because they're obviously they're both kind of fast foody, and if you kind of think about it, it kind of works. It kind of works with the logic. The people will kind of head here, and we've got Luigi's down the side there as well. But he's basically kind of made a big kind of complex out of it. We've got various different routes in with the hedges. We've got tables and chairs for people to sit. We've got these bins and bins and benches over there when people are kind of snacking away with their kind of Krustyburgers. We've got a big space over here with nothing in it. There's the drive-through there is present, and no, this is nice. We've got the road that comes in around the side and stops. Then we've got the pavement that goes around the edge with two cars in it that are kind of coming past. Stop sign. I had thought of that idea. I was going to put the stop signs at the end of the drive-through to stop people going anything in the wrong way, and I thought, I know, I'll use a stop sign. And you know what Nathan's done? He's nicked that idea. See, that was what I was going to show at the end of the stream. I was going to be like, don't forget the stop signs at the end of the drive-through, and you guys were all going to be like, oh, wow, cool, look, stop signs at the end of the drive-through, and you'd have done kind of like a little worshipping thing, and we would have been good. But look, Nathan's nicked that idea, so thanks, Nathan. The stream hasn't paused. I'm just dirty looking at the camera. But yeah, it is a cool little design. Hopefully these restaurants won't put each other out of business. Otherwise, one of them will probably have to turn into the lard donut place. But Nathan, I shall fire a present at your town and try and bombard them. Bam! Oh, I've just snuck that one behind it. Murphy calls it Restaurant Row. See, there you go. I called you Murphy. You owe me $5. Which is cool. So there is our little look at Krustyburger. There is all the kind of different ways of doing it. Cowbob, I wasn't aware. I didn't not show yours. I thought I went through the whole. I went through the whole thread. I went through the whole thing. So I don't. If I have missed yours out, I'm not sure how I did, because I thought I went past everyone. It wasn't deliberate. But yeah, I was kind of wondering where to put my Krustyburgers. In fact, I will give you a bit of preview for next week, because what I want to do next week, because I don't know if we don't know if the snow's going to go yet, so we need something that we can kind of do regardless. So I've got a little residential zone over here. Where I've got you've got to have your Simpsons town, your Simpsons house, and Flanders and the Van Houtens and things like that. So I've got a little residential zone over here, and then it kind of goes into the kind of more commercial area of my town, and all those other buildings. But I kind of figure that a town actually needs a lot more residential. Needs a lot more residential stuff. So I am going to, next week, I am going to put together a second residential zone somewhere over here. Okay, so that means that next week's, I'm going to be giving you a week in advance here. I want the best residential designs that you can give me, and it doesn't have to be. Obviously, we only have one of the Simpsons house, and we only have one of, all of these different houses. So I might move a couple over, but basically, what I'm kind of looking for here is like generic designs that we can make out of the blue house and the pink house and the brown house and the white house. I'd really like a nice residential area. I'd really like a nice residential area over here. So if someone could make a thread up on tapped.co.uk, and I'll make a thread over on some of the other forums. But next week we're going to be looking at residential stuff. So get thinking about back gardens and fences and barbecues and things like that. So I hope that kind of gets your I hope that gets you kind of creative juices pumping. You've got a week to put some residential designs together. I will start searching for designs probably about Friday. So you've got until then to submit your photo, and then we'll see what we're going to do. My Krustyburger is going to go here, or my second one. My first one, like many of you guys, my first Krustyburger went right at the start, right next to my Simpsons house, because that's all you get right at the beginning, isn't it? So it's there with. It's there next to my Gulp and Blow with just a dumpster next to it and a few other bits and bobs. But for my second one, I thought I would give it a bit of a bigger route there, and I was thinking of going down like many people have of the drive-through route. But the only thing I hadn't quite worked out yet was where exactly the drive-through bit was going to go. Like it was probably going to go like straight across like that, and then over this other side over here we could probably put in some kind of play area type area. I mean, we've only got a couple minutes left, so I'll literally just put a few kind of pieces in to show you the kinds of things that we can do. But you've seen so many designs tonight that I'm sure your brains are positively flowing with ideas of things that you can put together. But if we just grab the swings and things, he says, completely failing to find the swings and things. The patio tables will work nicely. Perhaps we could put some out here in our little design. And then that's what I was looking for. There's our seesaw, which can be part of our play area. I did like the reindeer idea. I just think it's a little bit sick. The nice thing about a seesaw is that you can always put two of them in, and they look pretty good, because you often get that at play areas. I'm going to put the stop sign at the end of the thing. I'm going to put the stop sign at the end of the drive-through, which is an idea that you've never seen before, okay? It's my idea. In fact, put it right next to Mr. Burns, who's probably going to get very upset at the fact that I just told him to stop! Volleyball net, I think, is probably overdoing it for a fountain, but if you've got donuts to spare, you could probably put a tetherball in there, would work. We can put some swings in, and then we probably just need a fence or some sort of hedging around the edge, depending on which one I kind of haven't overused, will work quite nicely. Training dummy, maybe not, and then maybe a couple of monkey bars. Speaking of monkey bars, I've seen quite a few people recently that have put that have used monkey bars as goals, and they've actually kind of created a football field using the monkey bars, and they look really, really nice. They look, you can actually kind of decorate the edges with like bushes and things, and they can be quite effective. Have I managed to put 3 down there without meaning to? Sell it for money. And that also still gives me a nice space over here that I can play with and kind of do other bits and bobs. I agree, Iced Rooster. We should put stop signs. We should put little stop signs in there as well. But there you go, guys. I'm gonna cut my design short there, because I think we've seen enough designs. I don't want to kind of overdo the push. Another well done to Kay and to Andre and to I'm gonna forget them, and to Peter and to Laura. There we go. There are 4 winners from Nathan's Christmas design. Thank you so much for all those designs. I was more than happy to be a judge in that competition, and if there are future competitions in the past, I'm more than happy to support you guys by featuring the winners. I do hope that you are itching to go and get designing your Krustyburgers. I do hope that your prize wheel is looking a little bit more healthy than mine. I still have those 2 to go, but I think I've only got a few days left to do it. That was good. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've had a lovely time, and I will see you same time, same place, 9 PM next week here. Throughout the week, though, I am going to be live streaming Rocksmith for those of you that are interested in guitar playing, and of course over on my YouTube channel, and you can see the address has been popped up at the bottom throughout the thing. I'm going to be playing some Chivalry. I'm going to be playing some Fallout. I'm going to be playing some. What else am I playing at the moment? I did a hardware review earlier. I might even do. I'm doing some piano stuff. You might get some of that over on the channel there as well. And don't forget, you can follow me on my Facebook page, Twitch page, Twitter page, and you can come and sleep outside my house as well. Loads of things that you can do that for. So, farewell. And while the credits are running, I'm going to have another crisp.